Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time. What I'm speaking of course, was the 15th ever Raise the Bar 30 Down college football release of my career on Ohio State. And listen, when they were up 21-0, you thought it was a good idea too, laying 18.5 points. Problem was Penn State scoring those 17 straight points. Yeah, that definitely put a little damper on our enthusiasm, did it not? What can I tell you? So, Ohio State goes down in flames. I had won 5 of my previous 6 Raise the Bar 30 Dime releases in college. Make that 5 out of 7 now. And here on the video report yesterday, I gave you 3 easy winners on Memphis over South Florida, Virginia Tech over Pittsburgh, lost the final complimentary play last night as Tulsa lost outright at home to Houston. But I am never going to be one of those guys, and never have been, who says, oh, after the fact I simply keyed the wrong games, that I should have used Memphis, I should have used Virginia Tech. Listen, all week long I zeroed in on Ohio State. I was going to ride or die with the Buckeyes. Well, obviously, I did the latter, did I not? But, as I've said many, many times over the years, those of you that are watching this video report who have not yet started gambling, the best suggestion I have for you is just acknowledge the fact that before you place that first bet, that sometimes you're going to lose. Sometimes you're going to lose big. Sometimes you're going to lose repeatedly. Sometimes you're going to lose for a week or 2 weeks in a row. And guess what? That's okay. Because if you acknowledge that prior to the fact, you'll be much happier, you'll be much better, you'll be a much better gambler. Because after big losses like I just endured yesterday, guess what? You won't be walking the plank, you won't be suicidal, you won't be calling your therapist. Because you acknowledge the fact that sometimes you're going to lose. And once you do that, you'll also recognize the fact that winning is right around the corner. Yeah, you're going to win as well. And you're going to win more than you're going to lose. Unless you're just a horrific gambler, and, well, I can't help you there. That's reality. Before I get to your complimentary plays today, let me just say that the 3 new guys that I have hired here at the sites, my God, these are the best 3 guys in terms of the starts that they've gotten off to at the sites that I may have ever hired here in the 19 years since I created these sites. Kirby Maxwell cashed in yesterday with Oregon State. He's going for winning day number 5 in a row. He just made his debut here a week ago, right? Mitchell Newman, he's going for winning day number 8 out of 9 and 12 out of 16. And Steven D'Angelo is going for winning day number 13 out of 15. I hit like the trifecta with these 3 guys. But it's not like I didn't vet them. It's not like I didn't look into their backgrounds. It's not like I didn't know, after watching their picks and knowing these guys and checking their daily performances, that I didn't think they were quality handicappers. But that doesn't mean when you add them to the site finally that they're automatically going to go on winning streaks. But hallelujah. Let's go to church today and thank our lucky stars. Okay, and let's also say rest in peace, Dwayne Connors. Let's be happy that you're no longer here. What can I say? Okay, let's get to your complimentary plays. It's not an easy card today. My God, it's a front-loaded card too with all these games at 1 o'clock. Let's run down a couple of them. On the early card. Okay, I'll buy into Atlanta. Do I think the Falcons are for real? I don't know about that. But listen, they have played well the past 2 weeks, right? Taking care of business against the Saints and the Falcons. 2 quality teams. I know the Bucs aren't quality, not with James Winston, a quarterback, not with that defense. So I will buy into the Falcons, even though Vegas has certainly not bought into the Falcons, because otherwise, why would Atlanta only be a 3.5-point favorite at home against a Tampa Bay team that has played miserably? I mean, you look at what the Falcons have done here. They've lost, 5 of their last 6 games. They're coming off a 34-17 loss at home last week to New Orleans. I'm going to have to go with Atlanta here, lay the 3.5 points. And obviously in this situation, I'm buying down the 0.5 point here on Atlanta in this spot. Again, Atlanta coming off the 2 big wins. The defense has suddenly played well because Dan Quinn has relinquished some of his play calling duties to his assistants. Gee, what a surprise there. And they've responded, holding the Panthers and the Saints to a combined 12 points. And the offense has looked good here the last 2 weeks, scoring 26 and 29 points in those victories, respectively, against New Orleans and Carolina. So, again, it's a cheap price, and I think Atlanta's a good buy-in at this particular spot. I like Detroit minus the 4 points at Washington. Matthew Stafford is still out. The Lions have a lot of defensive injuries as well. But what does Washington have for you with Dwayne Haskins at quarterback and with that horrible offense they've got? Jeff Driscoll has the ability to make things happen with his feet. It's his third straight start. I think the Lions have not given up here on the season. They're not going to the postseason, but I like the way they're playing, and I think this is a good, cheap price for the better team. Minus the 4 points. Naturally, I'm going to buy down the half point in this particular spot as well. I'm going to go with Tennessee minus the 3.5 at home, a series that has been one-sided in terms of when it's being played in Nashville. I think the Titans have won 8 of the last 9 at home in the series. This is a revenge meeting because the Titans lost in week number 3 in Jacksonville, but a different Titans team that's taking the field today because now with Ryan Tannehill, they actually have a passing attack. They've won 3 of the 4 games with Tannehill starting, including the big win against Kansas City. I think they've won 22 of their last 28 games straight up, playing at Nashville as well. This Jacksonville team has been beaten up the last 2 games by Indianapolis and Houston, giving up, I think, 474 points in those 2 games. And I think that Derrick Henry just loves to run against, especially when he's playing at home, loves to have big running games against Jacksonville. And you remember, last week the Colts, I believe, ran for 228 yards against this Jacksonville run defense. Again, a situation that I'm buying down the half point on Tennessee in this one. The only other game I had some thoughts about was Green Bay and San Francisco. San Francisco expected to get a couple of their injured key players back here tonight playing at home. It's always hard for me to bet against Aaron Rodgers because he's one of my favorite players. And the guy has certainly made me a lot of money over the years. But the gnawing thing about this game is I keep thinking about how Green Bay just laid that egg against the Chargers. So in this spot, just a hunch play, I like San Francisco. I think the defense will rise to the occasion, although the defense has not played well here of late. I think the key in this contest will be for San Francisco to be able to shut down the Green Bay ground attack, which although has been productive here of late, has been really iffy, a proposition that's been iffy all season long. If they're able to contain the Green Bay ground attack, that means they're going to be able to put more pressure on Rodgers, and that's obviously the key to their success, getting adequate pass rush against any quarterback this season. San Francisco, it's a marquee matchup. I lean toward the 49ers here, but again, it's just a hunch. And guess what? Again, I'd be buying down the half point here in this situation. Now, of the official free plays that we just talked about, the games that I probably like the most, they would be Atlanta and Detroit, number 1 and number 2, and then Tennessee would be in that second tier, and then again, the hunch play would be San Francisco on the Sunday night card. That'll do it. I wish you well, guys, and I'll talk to you again on Monday. Good